Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BowlTV. My name is Matt Canizaro, and you are watching continued coverage of the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. We are here at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. C-Squad on the lanes right now, taking a crack at the double burn variation of this 41-foot oil pattern. 10 games of traffic already come through. A squad and B squad, the number they are trying to get to plus 188. 1188 for 5 games. Michael Haugen Jr. of Phoenix. Let's take a look at the standings in just one moment. We'll let everybody get comfortable and settled in for our 5-game qualifying block. Day 1 of 3. All competitors this week will bowl 15 games over 3 days. 5 games each day, of course. A, B, and C squads, so they'll face the fresh, burn, and double burn. Again, 41-foot oil pattern, 29 mils of Kegel ice oil. So generally pretty slick and holds up pretty well throughout the day. We've had 4 on most pairs, 3 on some throughout the day, so not a tremendous amount of traffic. Certainly a true test of versatility for our players. More than 270 in the field. After 15 games, we will whittle that down to the top 63, plus our defending champion, Walter Ray Williams Jr., who's guaranteed a spot in the double elimination match play bracket. Of course, through qualifying, he can improve on that number 64 seeding. Last year, though, that number 64 spot turned out okay for Mr. Brian Voss. He snuck into match play and then did some damage, taking out the number 1 seed in round number 1, sending Parker Bone III to the elimination bracket right off the bat. So doesn't matter how you get there or where you get there, just get to that top 64 and then do work. As they say, our fans, Sean Lee out in Colorado, do work. And that's what these gentlemen are doing all week long. Here's Warren Nelson on our featured pair. He did some work at the Super Senior Classic right here at Samstown. Made the top 4 step ladder. Had a nice week to kick off the action here in Las Vegas, so congrats to him. And let's take a quick look and meet the rest of our players here on our featured pairs for game number 1. And we are behind lanes 19 through 22 here at Samstown. Steve DiMartino, he stopped by before the broadcast and said he is a fan of BowlTV. Likes to watch the broadcast when he's at work and just kind of have it on in the background, and now he's putting on the show for all the bowling fans out there. He's got the front 3. A lot of strikes being thrown here on our featured pairs already. Warren Nelson, already mentioned him, from Hemet, California. Also on this pair, Jeff Johnson and Randy McComber. Over on 21 and 22, we've got James Martin, Brian Miller, Gary Reynolds, and Kevin Anderson. There's 4 folks I'm not personally familiar with, so here's an opportunity to get to know them, I suppose, as things unfold here in our opening game of C Squad qualifying at the 2018 USBC Masters. Once again, plus 188 is the number. Question is, are we going to see those higher scores come from the fresh, the burn, or the double burn? Michael Haugen posted that number on the fresh earlier today. The closest anybody got off of B Squad was 4th place. Let's give you a rundown of our top 5 here after 2 squads at the Senior Masters. Again, Michael Haugen Jr. leading the way at plus 188. Keith Lesko second at plus 185. Chris Gibbons, who made a run at perfection earlier today, he is at plus 145. And all 3 of those bowlers bowled on A Squad on the fresh. High B Squad, Kerry Fulford of Fort Worth, Texas, plus 137. He finished with 164. So again, we saw perhaps some transition happening in game number 5. Not a lot of big scores at all in that final game of B Squad, but Fulford leading the way at plus 137, followed by 5th place Don Blatchford at plus 131, and then a pair of bowlers, brothers-in-law, as a matter of fact, going on B Squad. Parker Bone III at plus 130, and Doug Kent at plus 129. And I wonder if High Man gets to carve the turkey at Thanksgiving or anything special like that with those two 6th and 7th in the standings right now, 1 pin apart. And Major Mika is 8th at plus 126. That's Mika Korviniemi from Finland. Lloyd Hayer, Oklahoma City, is at plus 124. And rounding out the top 10, 2-time Senior Masters champ Pete Weber at plus 120. So now looking through the standings, in 42nd place. Again, the 3 squads, you figure, looking at 42nd place after 2, will give you an idea potentially what that 63rd spot's going to be, but that number is plus 47. So it jumped up a little bit there the last couple of games. It was in the 30s most of the day, and now plus 47, but we'll get a better idea here in the next couple of games, of course, today, what the scoring pace will be like throughout, and then what that cut number will be looking like as well. So we appreciate everybody being here with us. If you're just dropping in, my name is Matt Canizaro. You're watching coverage to 2018 Senior Masters C Squad, round number 1. 5 games total. This is game 1. We'll have updated standings after each game at bowl.com/Senior Masters. I'll give you the rundown once they become available too. So a lot of great information there though. Check that out. And remember, of course, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, BowlTV. A lot of great content coming up over the next few months, including now free coverage of the PWBA Professional Women's Bowling Association Tour. So if you don't want to miss any of the action and notifications, remember to subscribe to BowlTV. Got the link to this broadcast shared in the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page. Remember to share that on your own pages. Let your friends and family know that you are watching the Senior Masters. Spread the word. Let's get those numbers up. Get those thumbs up. Good numbers means more live streaming in the future. If people show us that's what they want, we try to give the people what they want. If you want to follow your favorite players across the house today, we do have live scoring available. I will use it to monitor what's happening as we are using lanes 7 to 52. I can tell you that Paul McCordick, the left-hander in the Houston area, has the front 5 down on 7 and 8. So we'll be on 300 watts throughout the block here. Have not had anybody get past the front 9 so far today. We'll see. Dana Wright on 9 and 10 also has the front 5. Of course, right here on our featured pair, Randy McComber. Front 5 as well. Down on 27-8, Don Breeden. Samesies, front 5. Here's Randy now up on 19, looking to stay perfect. 6 for 6. That one held. It's like a little bit of a puddle in the middle. That could be interesting for the rest of the way today. And comment in the chat room about lane courtesy, and Dan Myers, actually that is correct. There's a different lane courtesy procedure at our championship events here. It's the PBA courtesy. So, for example, if you're on 19 and 20, you'll wait. The bowler on 17 and 18 will go, and a bowler on 21 and 2 will go. Then you go. As you can see here, Steve DiMartino is bowling on 19 and 20. And now Brian Miller stepping up on 22. Len Elting stepping up on 17 and 18. Those two gentlemen will go. And then Jeff Johnson will go. So it actually keeps a pretty steady flow of traffic and a nice pace for the players throughout the event. Again, PBA lane courtesy, that's pretty smooth once you get going. And as long as you're up there when it's your turn, you can see it kind of unfolding here. Jeff Johnson threw his shot. Now Kevin Anderson on 21. Brian Cooper will go on 18. And then DiMartino will step up and shoot his spare. right, here's McComber up on 20. 6 for 6, looking for 7. All right, and he gets it. So we'll take a peek through the live scoring, as it appears to be a very high scoring start to our C squad here at the Senior Masters. A couple pairs to our right. Dale Traber, 2-time winner here at the Senior Masters, had the front 8 and slowed by the 10 pin on the 9th shot. How about that? Still a great start for Trabes, looking to become the first 3-time winner here. To be joined in that effort by Pete Weber and our defending champ, Walter Ray Williams Jr., all 2-time winners. 2 of the 7 in the history of the Senior Masters, which dates back to 1993. And Little Monticelli here, looking to add his name to the list of 2-time winners. He's bowling on 29 and 30, spare 7-bagger to start his 2018 campaign. Down on 43 and 44, Alan Sinoval has the front 8. So I take a run down there. That looks like all we've got popping here in game number 1. So I'll let you guys enjoy. I'm gonna make a run for it. We'll come back to see how Mr. McComber finishes up here in game number 1. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we've got false alarms happening all over the place. That was not the front 8 down yonder. It was spare 7-bagger. It was just a little hard to read on the live scoring. For Mr. Seneval, he still can get to 269 this game. And the run has ended for Randy McComber at the front 8 as well. So things quieting down here. Number, again, everybody's chasing plus 188, and after the start we're seeing here, it's seeming more and more likely that the double burn will be the big score squad. Dale Traber finishes with 279 off to our right. So final frames here on our featured pairs. Jeff Johnson looking to finish strong. Leaves a 10-pin there. Get to 213. Hot start for Steve DiMartino. Had the front 3, then a couple splits. Spared his way to 190. 191 here with another spare. Finished with 190 here in game 1. Gary Reynolds, 188, 188. Over on 21 and 22. James Martin, 182. Brian Miller, 172. And now Kevin Anderson can get to 208. Finish things out on that pair. Got a special request in the chat room. Can we take a look at 29 and 30? To see Emleto Monticelli. And here's some good news and some bad news. The bad news is we're not able to turn the cameras during the broadcast. Everything's stationary. The good news is Emleto just showed up right here on 19 and 20. So taking request. Looks like he'll be heading our way here in game 2. And there he is. Grabbing some stuff, getting situated in the settee here. Looking like we'll see our 2015 Senior Masters champ, do some work here. Coming up in just a minute. Right now we're going to close things out. Kevin Anderson gets them all, finishes with 208 over on 21 and 22. Randy McComber will be in the 260s. A spare here. And Warren Nelson finishing strong. Can get to 210 here in the opening game. So with that, we'll watch our final shots here and then get comfortable for game number 2. Again, Amleto Monticelli coming our way in just a minute. Continued coverage of the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. We'll be right back with game 2 of our C squad. Our second game of qualifying underway here for C Squad. You've already heard that Emilio Monticelli has joined us here for game number 2. Now let's see who else we've got on 19 and 20. We mentioned a string of strikes earlier. Dana Wright doing his thing here on lane 19 right now. 2 for 2, looking to stay perfect here in game 2. We've also got Rick Benori and Ray Valdivino. Dana Wright cannot add one more. And over on 21 and 22, we've got Eugene Captain, PBA champion Brian Goebel, and past Super Senior Classic champion Jim Knobla. Just a threesome there. They'll get done a little bit quick. And off to our right, Brian Voss making an appearance. Remember, he snuck in last year at the number 64 spot and then promptly took down our number 1 seed, Parker Boone III, in the opening round.
Cool. Hey Kenny, it's Pete. Hi buddy, what's happening? I know you were watching. Sorry, it took me a little while to say hi, but I'm saying hi now. So, take care.
And there you have it, a special message to Kenny from Pete Weber, the Hall of Famer. How about that? Always nice to see PDW come through. However, I'll admit, sometimes I'm scared he's going to yell at me. But always a pleasure to talk to Mr. Weber. Just joking there. Very passionate individual on the lanes, but definitely a friendly young man off the lane. So always nice to have him come by and chat. So Kenny, if you're listening, there you go. Special message. So hopefully during the week we'll get some of our competitors to come sit with us, chat for a minute, find another chair somewhere, see what they have to say about what's going on out there. I know we'll let them get 1 day or so in under their belts, get comfortable on the lane condition, and have a little bit more insight to talk about. Certainly have our fair share of superstars. On the pair next to us with Brian Voss, it is Norm Duke, star-studded. How about that? Question in the chat from Henry Craig, is Parker Bone bowling? Parker bowled on the last squad. You can check the standings at bowl.com/Senior Masters and see how Parker did. He was making a run after 4 games, finished strong, so he's up there in the top 10 or so. We'll have updated standings here in just a moment. After 1 game here on C Squad, and those have come through. So Parker is 6th at +130 after B Squad, and we already know that we had 1 279 last game, Dale Traber, but we had a second one as well, Rick Grinori, right here in our featured pair, stepping up on lane 20. So he and Dale are tied for the lead here on C Squad. Then a handful of 269s and Little Monicelli, Tish Johnson, and James Campbell. Then we saw the 268 by Randy McComber right here on our featured pair. Donald Harrington, 267. Alan Seneval, 259. David Axon, 258. Robert Brown, 257. Jeff Rowe, 255. So some big scores. In game number 1, Brian Goebel had 247. Norm Duke, 240. Dana Wright, 239. We'll see how this scoring pace holds up. Always glad when I don't start writing the story too early, because you never know what's going to happen. Typically, if you start writing, then that leading score gets beaten, and if you don't write it, it holds on. So we will see. Just started putting the pieces together for that, and you can read the recap tonight on bowl.com. We'll also share it at the Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook and at USBC on Twitter. Today we are bowling 5-game blocks only. So we'll have 3 5-game blocks over 3 days, then 15-game pinfall totals will determine the 63 players who join Walter Ray Williams Jr., the defending champ, in the double elimination match play bracket. Okay, we're getting to the halfway point of game number 2. Almost time to start peeking through our live scoring to see what is unfolding across this 56 lane center. We're using lanes 7 to 52 during qualifying here at the Senior Masters. Terrible break there for Brenori, the 7-10. And after 279 in the opening game, strikeless through 6 frames. All right, live scoring time, especially with the number of strikes we've seen being thrown here early on C Squad. Over on 13 and 14, it's Tiss Johnson, front 7. I got my eye on that pair. Ryan LeClaire bowling well, down on 33 and 4. Nice string of strikes going. Shoot 269 this game with 3 more in the 10th. Got an Andrew Frawley sighting coming in from Australia. How about that? Saw some international representation. Peter Knopp here from Germany. And a few Swedish players, along with the Australian Frawley. Junichi Yajima of Japan, down on 37 and 38. Looks like Tish Johnson is the last great hope for perfection here in game 2. And Tish Johnson's run at 300 comes to an end. Hard to see from here what's left. Down on lane 14. Right, just like that, game 2 coming to a close on our featured pairs. 10th frame on 21 and 22. Jim Knobloch can get to 171. Gene Captain finishes with 156, and Brian Goebel going to lead the way. Max score 217. And make that 206. Not quite yet to the 10th frame on 19 and 20. Renori and Valdivino finishing up the 9th frame, and then we'll get into the finale, or the final stanza, as Emil Williams Jr. calls it. All right, here we are, 10th frame now on 19 and 20. Amleto Monticelli unable to double here in game 2. It's going to be in the 180s. Going back to the bag. Pulling out, it's like a Black Widow Pearl, the gold ball. Try that on the fill. Some of them you can tell what they are right away. Some of them a little harder to see. Dana Wright clean through all 10 frames there. He's going to get a fill ball. He's going to the bag as well. Can get to 202. All right, here we go. Valdivino and Brunori. Brunori gets the first hit in the 10th. His first strike came in the 9th frame. Followed that up with another 279 start. Now can get to 163 here in game 2, but finishing strong. Tough leave there for Valdivino after the split in the 9th. It will be 3, 9, 10. Here in the 10th. Alright, game 2 in the books. Gonna get the cell phone on the charger in case we get some excitement. Have to run down and get a video. Always want to be prepared. Appreciate everybody being here. We're gonna step out for a minute, let the bowlers get on the move, get situated here for game 3 of 5. You're watching continued coverage of the 2018 USBC Senior Masters here at the Sam's Town Bowling Center in Las Vegas. My name is Matt Canizaro. We'll be here for the duration. Wire-to-wire coverage of this year's event. Will we see our first 3-time winner at the Senior Masters? Walter Ray Williams Jr., Pete Weber, and Dale Traber, all with a chance to do that. And Little Monticelli here looking to win for the 2nd time. So we will see. Today is just day 1. 15 game totals will determine. There's 64 players for double elimination match play, folks. If you have any questions, you know where to put them, right there in the chat room. We'll be right back with game number 3. All right, folks, game number 3. Quickly underway here. We are cruising right along at the 2018 Senior Masters C Squad. 40% of the way done. Let's take a look and see who we have on our featured pairs here for game number 3 on 19 and 20. Stepping up now, Bob Rosenau and Rick Manier. They're joined by Stevan Martin and Eddie Katz. And over on 21 and 22, Gary Blanton, Rodney Remmerst, Greg Sheets, and Jeff Rowe. So some more unfamiliar names, an opportunity to get to know some of these players and see them find success here in front of our live stream cameras. Rick Manier, of course, somebody we do know. He's been successful on many fronts. So we are getting toward the halfway point of the double burn squad. A lot of traffic on this 41-foot oil pattern throughout the day, but Kegel Ice Oil designed to hold up pretty well. And still, even this late, nobody getting super deep here at the Senior Masters. Of course, the guys who traditionally hook the ball can do so. But it doesn't seem to be completely necessary at this point. You saw Manier's shot, and he's doubled up here in game 3. It's pretty straight and hard. Looked like he was around the third arrow or so. Saw in our opening game, Mr. McComber had some holds toward the middle part of the lane. It bowled very well, 268 here on 19 and 20. Cat's looking probably the deepest of the most of them. Got some big old hands to get around. Looking at possibly back-to-back opens here to start. Remember, we'll be back on the air tomorrow with round 2 of qualifying. Nice break there for Greg Sheets. Round 2 will get underway at 8 a.m. local time, 11 a.m. Eastern. And we'll have squads at noon, at 3 p.m. Eastern, and again at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. here in Las Vegas. All right, halfway point now of game number 3. Here's halfway point of this final squad of qualifying here at the Samstown Bowling Center. Bob Rosenau getting something going here after a couple of miscues early. Near started strong, and he's looking at 3 consecutive spares. Our right-hand pair, Jeff Rowe, spare 3-backer, looking to continue that here on lane 22. All right, back in business. Back in the saddle here. There's front sevens galore. And nothing developing. So we're back here. Watch the final frames of game number 3 here in our featured pair. Jeff Rowe still striking. Spare 6-bagger. Make that 7. Looking good. We should have standings after 2 games. I saw them. They should be updated online as well. And they are. So let's see who's leading the way here on our C squad. Tish Johnson, 269, 276. She's at 545. Wonder what pair she's on. See if she's going to polish off an 800 series here. She needs 255. Might be too late to catch her. Nice to see her blowing well. The only lady in the field this week. Do not see her, which means it might already be done. Right, so it's possible we missed Tish. All right, now the time for the 10th frame over on 19 and 20. Rosenau can get to 195. Manier, open frame in the 9th, he can get to 212. So anyway, back to the standings. Tish Johnson had 545 plus 145 after 2. Not sure what she bowled in game 3. That's some poor reporting on my part. Next high on C squad plus 112, James Campbell, followed by Randy McComber plus 110. Robert Brown plus 105, Brian LeClaire plus 91, Alan Seneval plus 86, Warren Nelson plus 77, David Axon plus 76. He is 25th overall. And that 64th position right now is plus 41. There's a 4-way tie for that position right now. Game 3 coming to a close. 202 for Manier. Rosenau still can get to 195. Greg Sheets can shoot 181. Gary Blanton 161. Right, here is Jeff Rowe, looking for 11 in a row. spare 8-bagger, stepping up in the 10th right now here on 21 and 22. Highest game all day long, a handful of 279s. Jeff trying to top that here. Good place for it, live on BowlTV. Remmers finishes with 140. So just 1-200 game. That was Manier over on 19 and 20, 202. And 1-200 game. It's going to be 100 pins higher for Jeff Rowe here on 21 and 22. And the run comes to an end. Second shot in the 10th, so 279 max score here for Rowe. Would tie the high that we've seen today. All right, with the spare, 79. See where Jeff was after 2 games. Jeff Rowe is at +2 after 2 games. 255, 147, 279 for now +81 after 3 games. So that's a nice little surge up top. Game 2, game 3 now complete. We're gonna let the bowlers come our way for game number 4. It's almost over. 2 more games to go, and then we'll get a chance to see if we'll have a new leader or if Michael Hauke Jr. is going to stay on top at +188. The way things are looking up, Tish Johnson almost had that after 2 games. We'll see if she can maintain that pace in games 3, 4, and 5. We'll have the updated standings after 3 momentarily, and 8 more bowlers coming our way here in just 1 minute. Live coverage of the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. My name is Matt Kinizar. We'll be right back with Game 4. All right, we are rocking and rolling here at the Senior Masters. Game 4 underway. Let's see who our players are. On 19 and 20, Bill Mason, James Hansen, Donald Harrington, and Alan Seneval. That is our foursome. And over on 21 and 22, it is former Team USA member Mark Van Meter, Chris Ramirez, Willie Wells, and from Australia, Andrew Frawley, also a world champion. All right, these guys really not wasting any time getting into game 4. Have updated standings here shortly, hopefully. Tish Johnson on a tear. She was 5:45 after 2. Don't know what she bowled in game 3. We'll find out. We'll be surprised altogether. All right, folks, now that we've had a full day of qualifying here at the Senior Masters, you've had a look at all 270 plus players. Who's your pick to win? Interesting format here. Of course, 15 games of qualifying. Then we cut the field to the top 63 plus our defending champion. And all pins go away. Then it's head-to-head matches. So whether you're number 1 or number 64, anything can happen in those matches. Just you and your opponent, one pair of lanes. All right, we have the Game 3 update. Remember, Michael Haugen Jr. is the player to beat, plus 188 for 5 games. Second, Keith Lesko, plus 185. Third, Chris Gibbons at plus 145. And on C Squad, our new leader, Robert Brown at plus 142, 257, 248. 237, plus 142. Tish Johnson close behind at plus 139. Down at plus 129 is James Campbell. Alan Seneval right here on our featured pair at plus 110. Stepping up on lane 20 right now. Jerry Sikora plus 105. Brian LeClaire plus 93. Norm Duke 83. Jeff Rowe plus 81. So keep an eye on all of those players. And then start getting the calculator out after this game. Phone's charging right now in case we need to get any video highlights for today. Definitely we'll have a recap tonight on bowl.com. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. here in Las Vegas. If you're nearby and you want to come and watch, hang out, Bring snacks. Hang out in the live stream booth. Do appreciate everybody stopping in, giving us a part of your night. Remember, if you like the coverage, you want to see more of it, you want to see us back here next year, give us a thumbs up below your video window there. We'll get those numbers up to the boss. Tell them people liked it, so we should keep doing it. Thumbs up. Shot there by Bill Mason, the left-hander. First strike here in game 4. James Hansen going to step up. 3 for 3. All right, let's take a look through the live scoring. If you'd like to join me, just go to bowl.com/Senior Masters. Click on the results tab. See if the scoring pace slow down any. Okay, here in our featured pair, Jimmy Hansen, 4 for 4, looking to stay perfect. Up on lane 19 here in just a moment. Robert Brown bowling well. He's making a run at that plus 188. Could get there pretty comfortably. Got 3 out of 4 here on 31 and 32. Tish Johnson this game down on 45 and 46. No doubles through 5. And 49 to 50, Don Breeden has the front 6. All right, steady numbers. 316 watching. Has been that way for a bit, and we appreciate it. Tell all your friends. We'll be back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. The day after that. We'll be here until June 10th. Stepladder finals of this year's Senior Masters take place on the 10th at 10 a.m. local, 1 p.m. Eastern. Hansen trying to make it 6 in a row. Don Breeden has finished striking down on 49 and 50 as well. Tish Johnson, no doubles through 6. She can get to 226 this game. right, our last bid for 300 here in game 4. Brian Kendall down on 37 and 38. And Kendall's run ends in the 7th frame with a 7 count, so we'll turn our complete undivided attention back to our featured pairs here. And folks, if you have any questions, now's the time to ask, as we're nearing the conclusion of our day here at the Samstown Bowling Center. One more game to go. Then it's bedtime. Back at it early tomorrow, 8 a.m. for squad local. 8, 12, and 4. And on the East Coast, that is 11, 3, and 7. So 4 hours in between. Fresh burn and double burn, so only the one oil prior to the start of competition at 8 a.m. Great shot there by Seneval for the double. Still can get to 238. All right, final frame here. Underway. Harrington finishes with 183. And Bill Mason quietly stringing him along here. He's going to be in the 250s. Strike here, 255, and whoops, good place for that though. Greek Church on the fill, 250 even. Hanson's gonna step up with a chance to get to 266, had just the one slip up in the 6th frame. Otherwise could be 11 out of 12 here. All right, here's Hanson stepping up again, 266 max score. Centerval still striking. Got that score correction after the late break. 238 possibility on our other pair. Mark Van Meter, 204. Willie Wells, 212 with the open in the 10th. Andrew Frawley stringing him. Adds one more, he can get to 237. And Chris Ramirez, if he can get all three, it would be 232. That will watch our final shots. We'll get ready for the final game, get the calculators out, start taking some notes. Looking forward to seeing who will be on top of the standings here at the 2018 USBC Senior Masters at the end of today. Albert Brown, Tish Johnson, and a few others going very well here on the double burn. We'll see if they can't catch Michael Haugen Jr. Took the lead on the fresh today at plus 188. He's the man to beat. We will see one more game to watch it all shake out, and then back at it tomorrow, folks. My name is Matt Canizaro. We'll be right back with game number 5 here at the Senior Masters. Never. All right, folks, final game underway. Waiting for the score update so we know who we're going to be tracking down here in game number 5. Still looking at our on-site leaderboard after 3 games only, so hopefully we get that in plenty of time to run around. Looks like James Campbell might be plus 216, if that's possible. The St. Petersburg area, Tampa, Florida. A titleist at the USBC Open Championships back in 2004. So he definitely has been around, has some PBA regional success as well. All right, so our final game here as we wait for the standings. Let's see who we've got on our featured pairs. And some familiar faces from live streams past, and especially here at the Senior Masters. Paul McCordick, the left-hander, gave it a run back in 2016. Came up a little bit short against Pete Weber in the championship match. Had a final frame I think he'd like to forget, but back at it, trying to make it happen here in 2018. Joined on this pair by Bob Learn Jr., of course. Somebody already pointed that out. Noel Vasquez, PBA 50 champion, and David Larson, the final player. And over on 21 and 22, we've got Scott Merritt and Tim Reagan, Bob Amoruso. And that is it, just 3 players over on that pair. Game 4 standings updated on site, so potentially online as well. Let's take a look. It is time to start tracking some players. James Campbell, in fact, had 287 last game. He is plus 216 he is the guy to beat right now. Goes past Michael Haugen Jr. Brian LeClaire is at plus 148. Seneval is at plus 147. I'm going to take some cleaner notes now. Had some big games last game. LeClaire 255. Alan Seneval from Sweden. Plus 147. Robert Brown struggled a little bit there, 195. He's at plus 137. James Hansen, 266 here in our featured pair last game. He's at plus 134. He's from Anchorage, Alaska. So some ties there to Ron Moore and Kerry Painter. All right, now to find these players out there on the live scoring. James Campbell is down on 7 and 8. Started this game with a double. Seneval on 9 and 10. Struggling here. Need 241 to catch Haugen. Best he could do right now is 255, so losing ground quickly. Brian LeClaire down at 11 and 12. Strike spare 3-bagger. James Hansen on 29 and 30 has the first 3 to start. Jess Johnson's at plus 106. She had 167 in game 4. And Robert Brown down on 41 and 42. So we've got eyes on all of those who still can catch Michael Haugen. James Campbell, the front runner, plus 216. A couple other players with the outside chance. They need to shoot in the 270s. James Campbell still striking. I'm going to run down to 7 and 8 and get a quick video or two, and we'll let you guys enjoy some of the best in the business here. Paul McCordick, Bob Learn, Noah Vasquez. You're watching the final game of qualifying for the day here, round 1 at the 2018 USBC Senior Masters. We got 2 more days of qualifying, 15 games total. Then we've got the field down for the exciting double elimination match play portion of this event. Top 63 joined Walter Ray Williams Jr., our defending champ. Folks, enjoy. I will be right back, but bowling's not going anywhere. See you in a few. All right, folks, we are wrapping up things here on our featured pairs. Larson 203, McCordick 198. Vasquez and Learn wrapping it up here. Learn can get to 225. Noel can get to 214. And over on 21 to 22, just got Merritt 236 max, 158 for Reagan. And Amoruso now can get to 162. It looks like our guy's going to be James Campbell. He still can get to 225 this game, and he's already 216 over. And also over on 29 and 30, Jimmy Hansen has some potential. He can get past Haugen if he can throw the last four for 258, but he needs them all. Hansen came into this game at plus 134. Can't see exactly from here. It looks like he threw at least the first one. So 258 this game, we give him plus 192, but James Campbell's lead to lose at this point, down on 7 and 8. So Campbell's already going to be in the 190s, so down there to keep an eye on things. Campbell didn't want to strike, so he's been striking all day long, and I was there to see a couple 9 spares and an 8-1, so it might be bad luck. So we're probably not going to get any highlights of him doing his thing here, but try to catch up with him, get some thoughts on being the day one leader here at the USBC Senior Masters. He's got a couple frames left. Maybe we can still make it down there as we are done here on our featured pairs. And Jimmy Hansen about to throw his final shot down on 29 and 30. So he strikes out. He goes to plus 192. But not going to be enough to catch Campbell. Folks, that's all we can do from here. We'll have a recap for you tonight on bowl.com. Final scores will be posted as soon as the squad's done. bowl.com/Senior Masters. 5 game standings, A, B, and C squads all done. Wrap it up across the house here. Our featured pairs are complete as well. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Go catch up with Mr. Campbell. Again, a recap tonight on bowl.com. Back at it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. local time, 11 a.m. Eastern. 3 squads of qualifying, round 2. 5 games each, so 15 games already in the books here. 15 more tomorrow and 15 on Thursday. Folks, we appreciate everybody joining us here on BowlTV. We'll see you bright and early here in Las Vegas. My name is Matt Canizaro. Thank you for watching coverage of the 2018 USBC Senior Masters, folks. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.